My aunt died from COVID. Hello, welcome to Nursing with Professor B. My name is Bridget. I am a family nurse practitioner. I am making this video purely for awareness. It definitely is not for sympathy. I just want people to learn from my aunt's death. So my aunt died August 30th, 2021 from COVID. The only factor that put her at risk was that she was older, but she had no pre-existing conditions. She was not obese or overweight. She was healthy. My aunt was not vaccinated, and she had a lot of skepticism, like many people nowadays. She had a lot of skepticism towards, modern medicine and vaccines. She was always visiting naturopathic doctors. She believed more in holistic medicine or the naturopathic medicine. So she definitely was stocked up on vitamins and supplements. And in fact, she was always taking quite a bit of supplements to keep her immune system healthy and in what she considered to be like optimal shape. I'm holding my puppy because she, otherwise she'll be crying and making noises. She's very needy. But she was not vaccinated. Perhaps a reason for not being vaccinated is that she was worried about long-term effects from the vaccine. But my aunt is no longer around. She died from COVID complications. So her last days, there was a lot of suffering. Her last days were not good. There was a lot of suffering. She was very short of breath. She was very swollen. She didn't die intubated. They thought she had pulled through, but then she actually got worse and she did die in the hospital. This was in Colombia. She was getting excellent care and they were pretty much throwing all the medications that they could throw at her, but it wasn't enough. I feel like we're living in the Twilight Zone where healthcare providers or nurses, where people in the healthcare field, professionals, epidemiologists, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, we're being portrayed as the villains. And it's, we're out there day in and day out trying to save your life, whether or not you were vaccinated. And a lot of the comments that I have gotten on my COVID videos, I mean, the hate that is spewed, it's just like liar, fake news, you don't know anything, propaganda, liar, liar, like it's not even like the worst comments. We are not the villains. We're trying to protect you. Again, I'm making this video. Do you think I like talking about that my aunt died? I don't want to talk about it. It's sad. It puts me in a sad place. Why am I doing it? For awareness. And now with all these mutations, are vaccines 100% effective against you getting COVID? No, not 100%, right? But they diminish your risk. But even more importantly now with all these mutations, even if you were to get it and you're vaccinated, you're a lot less likely to end up in the hospital. You're a lot less likely to give it to other healthcare providers that are working tirelessly. Doctors have died taking care of patients, of COVID patients. Nurses have died. RTs have died. Countless of professionals have given up their lives to save COVID patients. We're just asking you to do a little bit, just a small part. I just wish that we could become united once again. After 9/11, we united as a nation because there was one common enemy, right? COVID is the common enemy. And instead of uniting, we've turned this into a political fight. This is not political, this is science. COVID doesn't care if you believe it or in it or not. COVID does not care if you're Republican or Democrat. And it will affect you. It will affect your loved ones. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that pain for you. We claim to be a nation based on faith and based on Christian principles. What happened to love thy neighbor as thyself? I just saw a video about a boy, a teenage boy, wanting masks in school because his grandmother died of COVID. And people laughed at him. Where is our empathy? Where is our compassion? Who are we? Who have we become? What happened to love thy neighbor as thyself? What happened to kindness? But it's not okay to disrespect people. It's not okay to treat people like trash and make fun of them and ridicule them. That's not okay. And if you're a Christian, that's not okay in the eyes of Jesus. How many times did Jesus say, "He that is without sin cast the first stone"? And it's ironic that some of the worst comments I get, they preface it by saying, "I'm a Christian and you're doing this and this and this," or that, you know? So think about, if you're a Christian, are you doing God's work or are you doing the devil's work? Because if you're sitting there spewing hatred and judgment and you preface it by saying, "I'm a Christian," what do you think you're doing to someone that is maybe on the fence with Christianity? Well, I can tell you, they're going to turn and run the other direction. I've volunteered before for prison inmates, and the number one thing they tell me that they've been turned off by getting to know God and getting to know Jesus is the hypocrisy among Christians. So we're tired as healthcare professionals. You know, I've lost an aunt. She was not vaccinated. I have a very large family in Colombia, and the only one that has died was not vaccinated. So the vaccines work, the vaccines save lives. Yes, breakthrough infections can occur, but they're much less likely to be severe if you have been vaccinated. If we can slow the spread of this virus, we will slow the spread of mutations. Every time this virus infects someone else, it mutates more and more and more. And that's why we're getting the mu variant. We got Delta, Lambda, so many variants. Someone, I can't recall who it is, but someone once said, "Learn from the mistakes of others. We don't live long enough to make them ourselves." My aunt had 2 children. She leaves behind a twin sister. She has 2 kids, but you know, it breaks my heart because she does leave behind my cousin who is deaf and who, you know, loves her dearly and still relies on her because he is deaf. You know, I mean, at the bare minimum, if you're not going to get vaccinated, at the bare minimum, then wear a mask, something. But no one is invincible in this world. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell.